Okay, so this is my first ever proper review, and okay, a lot of you already know what this is, but this is a game I got for, let's take this couple. Okay, this is a game I got for my 22nd birthday, and okay, my birthday was 21st, and then it's 25th now, and I've already been in it. So it took me 4 days roughly, well, actually 3 days because it'll be yesterday. It's just quite high up, so yeah. Okay, so this is my little review of the game, and I did some footage to go with this video, and I will put it in the middle, you'll see. Okay, so the game is called Kao The Kangaroo 2. It's Kao The Kangaroo Round 2. And it's for the PS2, and I think it's for Xbox 360, no, the original Xbox, yeah. The original Xbox and the PS, no, is it PC? I don't know, I'll have to double check that, but anyway, so yeah, this is a 3D platform style game, which is like what a lot of games are, but I have so many platform games. Now, even though this has quite a lot of similarity to quite a few games, I would say it kind of beats a lot of them, because there's many reasons. Okay, the first reason I like this game a lot is because it is that difficulty where it's basically, it's very simple, straightforward, just it's simple to get through it, but it's got a few tricky moments, which is kind of good, because I mean, if a game was that easy and it's just, there's no trickiness to it at all, and it's just go straight through the game, it's kind of not very satisfactory. It's just more, I'd be like, well, it'd be like a minute. So it's kind of like easy, but not. It's got the difficulty curve in it, so it's kind of difficult at times, but very easy. So it's a good game to beat quickly. It's not the most longest game, but it's not like super quick. I don't know. It may take, I don't know, 7 hours maybe? I don't know. I don't really remember how long I spent on it, but I've spent quite a bit on it throughout these days. I've been quite addicted to the game, so it's very addictive. Okay, so before we start talking about what the game features, we're going to just talk about the box itself. So yeah, this box has got a little bit of dirt on, but I'm not really going to talk about my version of the box, because yeah, there's no real point. Okay, so basically the game is made by Joe Wood Productions, if that's how you spell it, I don't know, and Tate Interactive, which technically I've not really heard of them two companies, so yeah. But anyway, one thing I like, this is the disc for the game. I'll just show you the disc. Okay, well this is the the English disc. I don't know if the American disc is any different to that. And it has a pretty unique booklet and cool character like at the back. And yes, basically there's something I like about the booklet, which, yeah, a lot of booklets I'm not bothered about, it's just a booklet really. But I like how in this booklet it shows you images of all the enemies. I mean, I think that's pretty good. I mean, it shows you all the enemy things right there. But I don't want to spend hours just talking about the booklet, because that's kind of pointless. So yeah, anyway, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the 2-minute video that I've made of just lots of clips, and then we'll come back here and we'll discuss more about the game in depth. Okay, so I'll see you after the video. Okay, so we're back. That was a cool video, and I'm hoping you all liked my video. And it showed you quite a lot of elements in Kao The Kangaroo 2. Okay, so there's quite a lot to talk about with this. So we're gonna start off with basic the attacks. Now, it's not really a game that, I don't know, features so many attacks. I mean, you don't really get weapons or anything. It's more just stomping on enemies, and you can do like a roll attack, which I showed in the video clip. You can use boomerangs on guards, which is kind of what I did a lot with the game, to be honest. I actually attacked a lot of enemies. The spiders you attack with the boomerangs. Most men enemies you attack with a boomerang. So it's kind of very boomerang based game. The other attack, I think that's really it really. The stomping, there's punching and all, because it's like a boxing sort of game. So punching is kind of a good good thing to involve with it. So yeah, that's really the attacks. So there's not much to talk about the attacks. So let's go on to the enemies. Okay, the enemies. There are a lot of enemies, and this booklet tells you each and every enemy. Now I'm not going to go through every single enemy, but I will say a few enemies from the booklet that are very, let's say, play a big role in the game, because there's quite a few enemies that aren't really involved much, like the penguin. The penguin's only involved once. So here are a few enemies that may give you problems, or just enemies that you see a lot. Now, there is a gnome enemy, which is like the basic, I think it's the first enemy you see in the game, and it's just basically a gnome with a hammer. It hammers down at you, which is kind of an easy thing to avoid, because you just have to basically either roll into it. If you just roll around it with its like rolling attack, which you hold down the button and you roll further, which I didn't find out till I actually beat the game, so that was kind of pointless. But yeah, the gnome is kind of easy to beat. You either beat it with a few jabs from your like clinching, or you just beat it by rolling around it. Or I think you can slam on it as well. So the gnome is actually very easy to beat. I'm just going to go ahead to some more enemies. Okay, the Venus flytrap, which is basically like a plant, which is involved in lots of games, to be honest. There's a lot of games that feature plant enemies. But a lot of plant enemies in games are actually fairly easy to beat. But to be honest, I think the plant enemy in Kao The Kangaroo 2 is actually quite hard. It's, I don't know, it can eat you very easy. You could like roll underneath it, and you got to roll up the side so it doesn't get you, which is kind of hard. So yeah. With other enemies, there are just all sorts of enemies. There are like water enemies like eels and fish and stuff. There is toucans, scorpions, crabs, spiders, pirate people, more fish, porcupines that you cannot touch, and hornets and stuff. There are so many enemies, I can't really go on about the enemies for too long. Okay, so enemies, yeah, there are many different enemies, and to be honest I think they're all pretty cool, and you can defeat all the enemies pretty easy, apart from porcupine, which you can't beat, I don't think. I haven't beaten it, so I'll have to double check that. But anyway, let's go on to gameplay. Okay, so gameplay, I actually like the gameplay a lot. That's what got me addicted to the game. So the gameplay is fairly good. It's very good gameplay. You either play as Kao The Kangaroo himself, jumping around, jumping from platform to platform, attacking enemies, and collecting lots of different stuff, or you play as Kayo on a pelican named Carlos, which I find quite hard because you go flap with wings and it can only flap 5 times, which is kind of hard. So, but it's not like super difficult. It's just like, I don't know, it can be tricky. You have a race with a boat, only once, so that's a disappointment. You could have done that like at least twice, but I guess it was very fun to do. What else is there involved? There are many different mini little things that you get involved with, like the barrel. You use a barrel to ride down. You can like go down slopes. You use a snowboard in one part. So there's a lot involved in the game, minus just the actual playing as Kayo. But playing as Kayo is involved a lot, so it's kind of good. It's a whole good atmosphere to the game. So let's just talk about one final thing. Okay, I'm not really going to mention the graphics because, to be honest, it's just the graphics of a cartoon-like game. It has good graphics in my opinion, but a lot of people will say, oh, that's garbage or whatever. I don't care. The graphics, to my opinion, are what a 3D game at the year would probably be like. So, I can't really say anything about it. And the sound, I think the sound's pretty good. It's pretty good sound to mix in with the game. So I think that's pretty good. So the base of the game, okay, like the setup. Now I'm going to talk about how the game works now we go through it. So basically you start off in this place at the beginning of the game, which is kind of like the place once you're done a level, you go back to, and then you have to go to the next level and so on. So it's kind of like what a lot of games are like with that. Now, the base is actually fairly easy, there's no real enemies in it, and it's, even though at first I didn't know how to get to a level because the character we had to go to was like on a bench and I was just going around and round and round and round. But then I found out we had to go to the character, which I think is a beaver, I think. But yeah, each level has so many different missions involved, and then it has a boss. Now I'll talk about bosses now. Okay, there's 5 bosses in the game, and the only real challenging boss, to my opinion, is probably the final boss. Okay, the octopus boss is kind of easy. Actually, most of the bosses are fairly easy. There's not that much to them, they're not complex enough. Well, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean if it's too complex, it's actually hard. Like go to a free boss, which I really hate, the final boss. Now overall, overall I'm just gonna have a final little say and then I'm gonna rate it out of 10, I think. Okay, so basically the game, it took me a few days to beat, and I would play it quite a lot. I played about 2 hours or 3 hours at a time on it. Okay, so it's a very addictive game to my opinion, and it's not a new game, but it is a very good game, and the only downside is probably what you unlock, which is the mini games, which I don't really get, I don't really understand them. The mini games are pretty useless really, and you have to press the X and the circle button a lot. Well, I can't really actually do it because it's like hard to show, but X circle, X circle, X circle, X. So okay, I'm gonna overall rate it now. So out of 10, I would give the game myself an 8.5 out of 10 maybe. I would say it would be in my top 20 games, to be honest, because it is a very good game. It's not very known, it's kind of underrated, and if anybody wants to know a game, a 3D platform game that has a lot of elements in, like jumping and attacking enemies and just plain out fun to play and a very addictive game, then get this game because it's goddamn worth buying. But one final thing before I end this, I'm gonna say it probably is possible to 100%. I haven't 100% it yet, but I'm gonna be going for each level, trying to 100% it. But as for Let's Play, I will Let's Play this, and I will Let's Play it as soon as I can because it's definitely worth Let's Playing and buying. So that's my overall view. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.